Drama Makeup Mama. Welcome if this is your first time viewing. Welcome, like I said. And if it not, welcome. I don't know. If it not, that's also was words that I just said. You know we have to start each video off with some word salad, so there, hopefully it's done now and we'll continue on. No Drama Makeup Mama is also wearing no makeup tonight, but you know, I figured the irony of this video would be not lost on everyone. So I was like, girl, I'm not gonna even wear makeup. So I'm gonna do my top 5 drugstore and top 5 prestige brand eyeshadow palettes, because I get asked all the time what are my favorite eyeshadow palettes, so I figured I would just tell you guys. And these are subject to change, but I will say that the top couple have, well, no, the very top has been the top for more than a while, so nothing new has unseated it yet. So I guess I'm gonna start, should I start with drugstore or prestige, honey bun? Drugstore. Okay, so number 5. Okay, so Makeup Revolution Forever Flawless Collection in Unconditional Love. Now they have these in other ones. I don't know the other ones' names, but this is Unconditional Love, and it is, I think they retail for $15, but you can always on Ulta, they always have them on sale. It has a nice big mirror. It doesn't fold all the way back though, but just look at the colors. The color scheme is really pretty because you have some brights, you've got some really nice corals, you've got a really good mixture of mattes and metallics, and the metallics are super smooth. Like, look at that lavender, how pretty that is. And then the mattes, I'm trying to find a good matte. Let's go to dinner. Is also, what's funny is there is a love letter in this, and as if you guys have Modern Renaissance, you know that Modern Renaissance also has a love letter, and they are the same color. So this is love letter, but I mean, for $15, and like here's a pink, so I can show you one of the pinks. They're really soft, they're very pretty. I'm gonna have marks all over me by the time this is over. So that's my number 5 drugstore. Modern Makeup, it's Revolution, Makeup Revolution London, Forever Flawless Unconditional Love. All right, go away now. So my number 5 for prestige. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Tarte Pro. You know, it's dropped a lot though, because this used to be my favorite palette of all time. I think just for sentimental reasons, it was my favorite. Gosh, this is busted too. It's just a really good palette for people who are starting to try to play with makeup. It's also a really good palette for any makeup artist to have because you can make so many different looks out of it. The entire square, so the 16 colors that are right here are all matte, and then these 4 are like ultra shimmer. The thing about it, and the reason it slipped down a number, is because the purples are not purple on me. I have this problem with purples, that purples will look purple in the thing, and then when I put them on my hand, they end up looking either gray or brown. So like that looks brown. Like if you look at that, that does not look like purple. And I am pulling from the purples. So that's why this has dropped a little bit, but they're super creamy, really pretty. So those are the mattes. There's no, you know, the drugstore, you could tell a little patchy. There's no patchiness. And if any of you who are familiar with Tarte know that their eyeshadows smell like chocolate, and that's one of the ultra shimmers you can see. It's super, super pretty. So that would be my number 5 on my prestige, is the Tarte Pro. This retails, I think, for $49. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's $49, and it is on Tarte's website, or you can get it on Sephora, or you can get it on Ulta, however you want to get it. That is number 5. All right, number 4, drugstore. This one came as a shocker to me. The Cosmo Collection, this is from Crown Beauty. I got this because they had an Instagram post saying that they had palettes that were $5.95 and under, and I was like, or starting at $5.95, and I was like, girl, let me see. So I went in and looked, and well, first of all, this is why I bought it. Let's be honest. I bought it because of this. My expectations were very low. However, it is so, okay, first of all, look at the colors. Like, so pretty. So pretty. And the payoff is super, super good. I'm gonna do a green shimmer from this palette. I'll do that right here. And this palette cost me $10. So there's a green shimmer. And I'm gonna do this like beigey color that's really pretty. Like and it's not patchy. It's really smooth. There's a red. The red's a little patchy. Let me do this. Like, but overall, I mean, and just you're getting really bright colors, and their payoff is really good. They're buildable. I really like this purple. Yeah, I mean, it's super pretty. Is it the most pigmented thing in the world? No. But like for $10, it's a really good eyeshadow palette that works with, I mean, you can make millions of looks out of this. Maybe not millions, but quite a few. So this is my number 4 drugstore. All right, number 4, Prestige. I had to include this in here. It was hard for me to pick what Huda. I knew there had to be a Huda in the top 5. And I was like, okay, so I could put one of the full-size Huda palettes in there. But honestly, if I'm being honest with myself, this is the Huda palette that I reach for the most. It's the Huda Beauty Gemstone Obsessions. I'm not sure that this is available still. I think it is. I think the only one that you can't get anymore is the one that had the electric colors in it. But I have used every single one of these at some point. They either are really good just to like kind of shift the color of whatever you're doing on your eyes. I've also used the red and orange and pink and sometimes a purple color on my lipsticks to give myself like an ombre effect or just to really make my lips pop. It's just such a nice little tool to have. And I think that's why I had to put it in there because Huda's formula obviously is wonderful anyway. But these colors, guys, girl, look at that. Like, so, so pretty. I don't think I've ever used a palette as much. Oh, look at that purple. Woo! Like, I don't think I've ever used a palette as much as I've used this palette. And with different looks for different reasons. It's very, as small, though she be small, she be mighty. So these retail for $29. There are a ton of different ones. I don't even know all of them now, I think. There's Smoky, which is okay, Mauve. Anyway, those don't matter because this is in my top 5. So this is number 4 for Prestige. All right, number 3, Drugstore. Yes, this is a new one that has snuck in here. This BH Cosmetics Color Festival. I used to own the Take Me Back to Brazil, Rio. Is it Brazil? No, it's Take Me Back to Brazil. And I really liked it. I'm not saying I didn't. And it had a lot of colors, but it was really inconsistent. I love the color scheme in this. I don't know what it is about it. I was expecting it to be a lot brighter and I was like gonna live with that and be okay. But the fact that it isn't, like, these colors are so, I'm running out of room on my arm. They are so pretty. Like, okay, so that's, ooh, I had some purple on my finger. But that's Groove. And this is Denim. Ooh, they're really, really soft. And I find, look at, I mean, guys, look at that. Look at that, that's Drugstore. I don't really think BH Cosmetics should be considered drugstore. I think it's kind of in between Drugstore and Prestige. I believe this palette is, I'm gonna say this wrong, I think it's $20 maybe, 20. They are always having a sale though. So I think I got them, I got this in Desert Oasis when it was like buy one, get one free. So I ended up getting one of them for free. But like, guys, look at this gold. Look at that. I mean, oh, I just stuck my blue finger in a white eyeshadow. How dare I? Husband, yes. I need help. I need makeup wipes. I need to wipe off my hand. I made a really pretty color, but I totally just stuck a blue finger in a white color. Hold please. So yes, the Color Festival, it's 20 color palette. They are really pigmented. Like, I mean, look at those colors, guys. That's insanity. Insanity. So 2 of my top 3 are BH Cosmetics. So that should tell you something. I am a super fan. But see, like I said, I think there needs to be a new category, like in between drugstore and, because when I think drugstore, I think like Wet n Wild and L'Oreal and Rimmel London and CoverGirl and Maybelline and all that. I don't think ColourPop or BH Cosmetics or Juvia's Place, I mean, their palettes honestly are the same price as those other brands, so that's why it's considered drugstore. But I think their quality is really good. I mean, I think ColourPop and BH Cosmetics are just as good as any of the prestige brands. So that was my number 3, Color Festival. Whoop, whoop. So now my number 3, Prestige. Yes, the Mac Daddy of all palettes. I couldn't remember what it was called. I was like, Mac Daddy of all. So this had to be in there. It's just one of those things. I am not a fan of Morphe palettes for the most part. I think they are terribly inconsistent with their eyeshadows. However, this is a very good palette. I don't know if James Charles worked with Morphe on the formula or what, but it's just, you know, it's called the Artistry palette, and it is like you can literally make anything. The only thing I don't like about it is that it doesn't bend all the way. As you can see, that's something that oh, sorry to hit the camera. See, it's so big. And it's so big, like it is, like if I was still doing makeup though, this would be awesome because I could just hold it like in the crook of my hand and I wouldn't have to actually like hold it, and you don't have to worry about them breaking. But it's a little hard to just use every day just because it's like, it's kind of clunky. It's kind of clunky, but I don't know how they would solve that because there's so many colors. But yeah, there's pretty much the whole rainbow in there. So, you know, any look you could possibly want, you're gonna find in here. And that's why it's number 3, because it's not like my favorite palette of all time. But if I'm stuck on a look, or if I know I wanna go for a look that is a certain thing, I'm probably gonna dip out of this somewhere. So, James Charles. So I'm sister slaying it with that palette. Is that what he says, sister? I'm so out of the loop. Okay. Number 2 for drugstore. Woo! Do I swear by it? I do swear by it. I was super confused when NYX came out with a $35 palette, because I was like, girl, this is drugstore, this is not prestige, why are we this expensive? But then it was always on sale. I got mine, I think, for like under $20 because Ulta always has a coupon. NYX is always buy one, get one half off. You can, it's not gonna cost you $35. But I was super shocked because I was like, that is a lot of money for drugstore. However, you do get, I should have done this before. You get 40 eyeshadows. So you get twice as many eyeshadows as the average. I mean, if you're saying that an average palette has 20 shadows, which is still a lot. So this is 40 eyeshadows, and they're not small pans. Once again, doesn't bend, boo. But like, look, it's just, it's kind of like, I would say a cheaper version, but it's about the same retail as the James Charles palette. But this has a lot more muted colors. I really like how they group the colors together, because you've got your neutrals, you've got kind of like your cool tones, you've got your warm yellow tones, and then your reds into your purples. Like, they just grouped it together really well, and all the color payoff is really good. Let me just go into a couple. Like, this is a mustard yellow color, which yellows usually are not easy to do, but like, look at that, that's so pretty. And browns, I always test shadow palettes by their browns, because brown and a lot of times can be really patchy, but that's, I mean, that's pretty. So yes, I just did like doo-doo yellow and brown on my hand, but see how pretty it is? So yes, my number 2 drugstore would be the NYX Swear By It. They have new versions of this that just came out. I know they have like one that's called Dreamcatcher or something, but I really like this. You can get it on sale. Like I said, Ulta's always running sales. And I'm sure you can probably get it with a coupon or something at a drugstore. So, yay. All right, so now number 2 for the Prestige. Guys, I love this palette. Like, I have a love affair with this palette. I did not think I was gonna like this palette as much as I did. I got it when it first came out because I'm the person that they market things to, because when they make packaging and they make it so your eye catches it and you want it, I am that person. Like, because for me, it's the little details. Like the fact that her rings and her nose ring are gold and like are actually embossed gold. Like stuff like that catches my eye and I'm like, I have to have this. It's obviously a good palette. Luckily, it is actually a good palette. And look, dun 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 dun. It folds back. Yay. This palette is absolutely stunning. This is the Venus XL2. So the XL1 had a lot of pinks and reds, and the XL2 is more about nature and soft colors like, oh my gosh, guys, these colors. Okay, so this is called Sage. Like, look how, and it's such a unique color. They have one called Ivy that's like super unique. It's like a green with like a gold shift to it. And then they have these, like this color Obscure is like intensely green, like super, I mean, then there's In Bloom, which is such a really pretty rose color. Like just, so pretty, so pretty. This is expensive. This one is I want to say it's $65. But I know right now on Lime Crime's website, I think you can get both of them, this one and the first one, for like $99. So that's a way better deal. But these palettes, these are thick pans. And it's very sturdy. It bends all the way back, which I like, but it does have a mirror. Oop, I just stuck my finger in Ivy. But it does have a mirror. I just don't want to blind you. These colors just are so, so pretty, and like colors that I have not seen in other palettes. That's Throne. This is Locust. It's, like Locust is like a brown with like a green shift. Like it's just really interesting colors that you don't see a lot together. So the fact that this is like this is why it's number 2. It's just super pretty and I love it. All right, we are down to our number 1 on our drugstore palettes. Drum roll, please. That's right, you guys. I know. Everyone's sick of seeing this palette. But there's a reason that everyone loves this, because it's awesome. I had the original Zodiac by BH Cosmetics, and I wasn't as much of a fan of it. The Love Signs is so gorgeous. First of all, like I said, it bends. I like bendy palettes because it's easier to work with. And then you get, why did I just forget that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, dirt. You get 12 foil kind of baked eyeshadows. You get 12 mattes, and you get a highlighting color. And these colors, oh, guys. Okay, so this is the baked Capricorn. Look at that. That's sickening. Sickening. Say hi. Say hi. I can't. Okay, then don't say hi. Hi. Okay. So that's Capricorn. And then here's Virgo. Just so you guys can see, these are the baked shadows. I typically don't like baked shadows, but look at the color payoff on that. I mean, that's insane. And that's not a wet brush, that's just my finger. And then here's I'm gonna do the Capricorn matte right next to, oh, guys. What? And then here's Aries. Girl, look at that. So pretty, so pretty. So that's why this is number 1, because you can do a lot with it. It's super versatile. This is Libra. Libra is this really pretty platinum color. And then, you know, to have be able to have gold and oh my gosh, look at Cancer. What? to have those kind of colors and then have this really pretty neutral highlighter too. I'm gonna put that right here. To have that really pretty neutral highlight too in a palette is super rare. And I would put this up against any of the big boys. It's a great palette. You can do 1,000,001 different looks with it, and it is a little bulky. I think that, you know, that's why I do give points down for companies that use packaging to make up for performance, but this one actually does perform really well and the packaging is cool. So A+, that is my #1 drugstore. And last, but certainly not least, my #1 prestige eyeshadow. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You've heard it once, you've heard it twice, you've heard it 1,000,000 times. This is my favorite palette of all time, Soft Glam by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I thought about it because I looked at them all and I was like, is this really my favorite? Yes, it is. I like all of her palettes. I like her formula a lot, but this color is just kind of my colors. I find that this is one of those palettes that you can literally just make anybody's eyes look good. And they're not colors that you would necessarily think of. Like, this is one of my favorite colors in this palette. It's called Orange Soda. And it is such a pretty transition. It really brightens up your eyes and brings everything forward. Now this rose pink color that's next to it is ridiculous. Look at that. Look at that color. Ah! So like the shimmers payoff is really good. This is Fairy. I use that a lot on my lid. And then they also have, but then they throw some interesting colors in, like Dusty Rose, which is a really pretty kind of almost a cool toned color. So it is interesting because you have these oranges, browns, and reds playing with these kind of like plummy purple colors. I love this palette. I love it. I love it. I love it. I really loved Modern Renaissance, and I'm not saying that Modern Renaissance is not awesome. It is, but this is so much. It's so user friendly and it's so easy to make so many different looks that it is my #1. It stays my #1, and you guys are probably like, oh my gosh, Jeffree Star's not in your top 5. It's not. It's not because I don't like the palettes. I like Jawbreaker, I like Blue Blood, those are the 2 I own. But if I'm being honest, then those are my top 5. So list them down below. I like doing these top 5s. If you guys have any ideas for anything else you'd like me to see top 5s of, eyeliners, brushes, lipsticks, colors, whatever, I would be interested in doing more lists. I like doing lists, or top 5 mistakes, top 5 tricks, whatever. We can make this a regular thing. Just comment down below if that's something you would like, and if not, that's okay too. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell if you haven't. I also have links down below that will save you some money on some different subscription boxes as well as some brushes. So make sure to check that out. And everybody, take a deep breath in, let it out, and be still.